Ah, yes, finding the agent. Who's going to take a novice on? Well, they are in Toronto. I don't know if any of you are in Toronto or Montreal or New York or Los Angeles or Chicago or Cincinnati or any of those towns. There are a lot of places that won't take on new talent, but there are some smaller agencies that will. Now, if you get taken on with your tape is your calling card. It's your audition. So when you make your tape, first, get it together in a format that you want. Plot it out, write out your script. Then take that script and put it on a what we call a scratch tape or a mock-up. So you're making a fake take, just on a tape recorder at home. Now you take it to someone you trust or a professional and have them listen to it and say, listen to my tape, what do you think? And
just send them all to Garry.
Yeah,
Garry,
just
Garry
send them all to me.
Listen to all of them.
I've had that. And
we get them all the time. Could you give a listen? And
just give a
like
listen.
Like an idiot, they actually wait for me to reply, and I do. I always, it's like, why not? We're all in this thing called life together, so why not, do it? But it doesn't hurt to get advice from. Don't have too many people listen, because everyone. Everyone has opinions or like, mouths. I'll make it clean. Everybody has one, okay? So don't have too many people listen, because then you'll just go crazy.
You'll go crazy, yeah.
One of the most important things is when you're trying to get that thing out to people, a lot of people won't listen. And most of them will only listen to the first 20 seconds. 20, 25 seconds, even though you got 2 minutes, you got that really gold there at the last. Wait till that last 30 seconds, man, I'm really kicking. No, you gotta get their attention up front. That doesn't mean go insane up front, but whatever you're strong with, get it at the beginning of that CD, because 9 times out of 10, they've got a lot of stuff to listen to. They got a lot of stuff to do, and they're not gonna spend a lot of time. But even though we're saying how difficult it is for them to listen, all that stuff, I promise you, every casting director out there, it happened to me when I was in Los Angeles, every casting director wants to discover that new voice. Mm-hmm. They want to discover that, same thing where they want to discover that new face. Everybody wants to discover somebody. It's true. When I first moved to Los Angeles back in the 80s, I got signed by a commercial agent, Sutton Barth and Venari, but they only signed me on camera. They said, well, we've got everybody we need voiceover. So there's, we can't help you. And I said, well, if you keep me working on camera, I'm cool with that. I was doing film and TV, so it was fine. And then one day, they were watching my tape, because I had booked a couple of commercials, and the voiceover person walked by, just happened to be walking by, and listened, and said, oh, wow, that's interesting, because I was doing this weird character. And she said, yeah, I've got an audition for an Olive. I think I'm going to call him, I'm going to call him in. And so she called me in, and my first audition in Los Angeles was for a Lindsay Olive, Lindsay Ripe Olives. And because she heard that, and she said, oh, wow, that's cool. And she discovered me. She was my agent, but she was with the agency, but she wasn't my agent. She did that. She called somebody. Casting director started calling me in, and then one thing leads to another. So I was a new voice in town, so it was cool.
They send you in for everything.
Yeah, and you know what? The other advantage you guys have right now is the internet. Now, I don't know how Garry feels. A lot of guys hate the idea of fan dubs. I don't. I think it's absolutely fine. I think it's cool that people take the time to do these fan dubs, and they'll link me to YouTube or whatever. Say, check this out. Hear what we're doing on this and that. Any way you can practice is cool.
Very cool.
Do it. Practice. And I've got a friend in Edinburgh. I was telling somebody earlier. A young man in Edinburgh contacted me when he was 17 years old. He was a fan of one of the games I did. And this dude is incredibly talented. At 17, he's got a voice like Gary's. He also is a composer, a singer. So I contacted a friend of mine in London who's a producer for Cartoon Network. I said, you've got to hear this guy. You've got to go onto his YouTube channel. And he keeps putting it out there. And now he got hired to do a job. I don't know where it was. But there are a lot of jobs that are non-union that are happening. I've got friends on getting jobs off the internet from companies in Russia.
Yep.
You know, it's all
South
over there.
Africa.
So if you want to do it, you know, check it out. And there are sites on the internet where you can actually go and submit things for different voiceover casting companies. Don't pay anybody though. If somebody's asking for a bunch of money up front,
No,
don't fall for it.
it's a scam.
But, you know, do it. Who wants to do voiceover work here? So do it.